So it's a particularly difficult and stressful time for Europe at the moment. I can't in fact remember a time since the European Union began where it has faced such fundamental, even existential threats simultaneously. And three, I think, stand out in particular. One is the euro crisis. It's in abeyance at the moment, but it hasn't gone away, particularly with Greece. Its debt levels are still unsustainable, and there are other countries such as Italy that could get into severe difficulties. So one of the main achievements of the European Union, the euro, is still fragile. Secondly, there's the refugee crisis, which Europe has really struggled to grapple with. Again, it seems to be starting to perhaps mitigate the problem, but this is a long-term difficulty, and it threatens another of Europe's great achievements, which has been the so-called Schengen internal movement, passport-free movement within the Schengen zone. And then last but not least, Brexit. Britain has a referendum shortly on whether to remain in or out of the European Union. It could be quite close, and if one of the largest members of the club were to leave, I think that would send the whole club into something of a crisis and make people wonder whether it's reached the high water mark of integration. So for Brexit, I think that business is really just starting to wake up to the possibility that this might happen and starting to think through what the implications might be for them. It will depend very much on the nature of the business, but those businesses that have invested in Britain as an access point to the rest of the European Union, the big European market, they would really start to worry whether this is the right place to be a base, because Britain's whole relationship to the single market would be in question until a new arrangement is negotiated, and that could take at least 2 years. Well, it's interesting that a couple of years ago, nobody really took seriously the idea that Donald Trump could actually get to the White House. Now that he's the presumptive Republican nominee, it's a question that people actually have to ask quite seriously and quite earnestly, start to think through what sort of president would he be. I'm not sure that Donald Trump himself could give a very clear answer to that question, because what you say on the campaign trail and what you do in the White House can be very different things. But certainly I think it would be a worrying for anybody who believes in an open, liberal, free trading United States. Clearly that is not the direction he wants to take the country in. Any American, be it in business or elsewhere, who travels abroad is going to have to face up to the fact that one of the first questions they're asked by their colleagues abroad is, well, what do you make of Donald Trump? So you're going to have to start thinking through an answer.